here.
6 words. 6 words that would change the internet forever. There honestly hasn't been a company more influential in my life than Rooster Teeth. For over 10 years, they were my main source of inspiration and entertainment. Whether it be Jeff and the boys screwing around at Achievement Hunter, Red vs. Blue, their multiple podcasts, or their original shorts that would come out almost every week. I always felt that there was just something new and exciting to watch with them. They never seemed scared to try something new and different, and seemingly everything they did was successful. Well, except for Strangerhood, but...
You shouldn't yell so loud. People are sleeping and stuff.
What? What are you doing in my bed?
Yeah. They also really cared about their community and had a sense that they knew that they wouldn't be where they were without them. This humble company simply just stayed humble, even after being bought out by Fullscreen. But for some reason, in the past 2 years, something's felt different. I've stopped watching their content. I haven't watched the season of Red vs. Blue in years. I couldn't tell you what volume of Ruby they're on. I don't recognize 3/4 of the people in Achievement Hunter now. Anytime I try to re-engage myself and jump back into their content, I can't. It feels like a chore. It's not enjoyable anymore. And honestly, I ask myself, did I change? Or did Rooster Teeth change?
Alright, so here we are in front of the elephants. Cool thing about these guys is that they have really long fronts, and that's cool. And that's pretty much all there is to say.
As crazy as it sounds, this blew my 11-year-old mind. Online video was just not a thing in the early and mid-2000s. My discovery of YouTube, although I didn't know it at the time, would lead to the career that I have now. For about a week, I could not get off the website. Anything and everything I saw, I had to watch. It was a different time. Back then, you actually had the ability to go so far down a rabbit hole that YouTube had nothing else to recommend to you. The website actually became part of my daily schedule. This was the first time in my life that I realized that the internet was for more than just playing games on CartoonNetwork.com. It only really became inevitable that I was going to find Red vs. Blue. And I did. This compilation video was one of my favorite videos back in the day. I didn't know what I was watching, but I thought it was freaking hilarious. I was also amazed how they were able to record Halo 2 like that. I didn't even know it was physically possible to record video games like it was a VCR tape, let alone edit it. After a few weeks of trying to figure out what I was watching, I finally got a clip that showed where this all came from. RedVsBlue.com. And from that day, I was hooked. The weeks following my discovery of Red vs. Blue, I literally binge-watched the entire series up to the most recent episode twice. To the dismay of my parents, I'd literally go around my house quoting everything I heard from the show. I would try the head bob just like Griffin Simmons in every single video game I played. I also started doing research to figure out how they were recording gameplay. This went on for weeks. As summer ended, big things were happening in my life. I was finally old enough to ride the train by myself, and I got my first cell phone. But not just any cell phone, a camera phone. To this day, my Nokia, even though it has a broken screen, is one of my most prized possessions. Just holding it and pushing its button release to flip it open brings back so many memories. Like the first time I decided to reenact my favorite scene from Red vs. Blue. Or the time that my friend and I realized that we could do stop motion video by starting and stopping the recording. I love my phone and shooting videos with it so much, I started a new routine. Every week I would watch a new episode of Red vs. Blue, and then try to reenact it with my friends leading up to the next episode. I did this for the entirety of 6th grade, which was pretty much all of Season 5. I still go back and get chills anytime I watch Season 5, just because it had such a big impact on my life. I couldn't wait to see what was next for Red vs. Blue, and unknowingly, Rooster Teeth.
Bleep bloop.
That's not a real achievement.
Yes, it is. Bleep bloop.
No, you can't do that. You can't fake the achievements. They have to be approved. Bleep bloop. Stop saying bleep bloop. Bleep bloop. Stop it. Bleep bloop. Stop it. Bleep bloop. Okay, that's it. I quit. Bleep bloop. I had so many achievables. Bleep bloop.
Achievement Hunter is the first time I stopped looking at Red vs. Blue and Rooster Teeth as two separate entities. I started to slowly see more that Rooster Teeth wasn't just a funny logo at the end of every single Red vs. Blue episode. It became more of, oh, those cool guys who do a bunch of funny content. Through Achievement Hunter and all the shorts that Rooster Teeth would put out, I started to learn about the awesome people who made my favorite web series. I finally had a face to Griffin Simmons. At the time, Red vs. Blue was going through its longest hiatus. It had been a year since the last proper episode of Red vs. Blue, and there was another 4 months to wait before the season 6 premiere. Although I was eager to find out what happened to Tex and O'Malley, and also what happened to the Reds and Blues of Blood Gulch, Achievement Hunter and subsequently Rooster Teeth's new YouTube channel held me over pretty well. Alongside the achievement guides that Jack and the late Knuckles Dawson would post, Rooster Teeth re-uploaded all of Season 1 and most of the PSAs that came with it, and also uploaded new Machinima content. They also re-released the Strangerhood, but again, we're not going to talk about it.
Governor have the gift of the gab. Give him a bite, man. His country no have my sandwich.
Ugh. As the months went on and Season 6 of Red vs. Blue was released, the content on Rooster Teeth's YouTube channel only got stronger. Jeff and Jack were finally building an identity for Achievement Hunter, which included their first and oldest show, Awu. Rooster Teeth also started shooting live-action shorts, which got me way more familiar with the rest of the crew. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's talk about Season 6 of Red vs. Blue.
You were stationed at Blood Gulch, correct? And our records indicate you were infected by an aggressive artificial intelligence program at one point. The Omega AI, is that correct as well? I'm investigating a critical issue, and you seem to be the only person with the knowledge and experience necessary to help me. And I just realized how ridiculous that sounded once I said it out loud. Nonetheless, I need you to come with me.
Season 6 was a huge risk for Rooster Teeth. Along with new characters and it being shot in Halo 3, the script became more plot-driven. It had a major tonal shift, less improv, more action, but still just as funny. Gone were the days of a bunch of guys sitting in the middle of a box canyon just talking. And admittedly, I wasn't really too sure about it at first. I was enjoying myself, but I wasn't sure if I was just enjoying the fact that there was new Red vs. Blue episodes, or because I was enjoying the show. That all changed during episode 6.
Any equipment? Yes. Why? Shit. Wyoming. Cover me. What? Wyoming? Caboose, cover him. Grab those spike grenades. No! Don't let Caboose help me! There it is! Hey! I'm a little help out here! On it! Caboose! Toss that grenade! That was the worst throw ever. Of all time.
Not my fault. Someone put a wall in my way.
Washington being the straight man to Caboose and Church's ridiculous humor was something I never realized I wanted. Also, this was the first time I realized how much effort they put into every single shot. Now having Forge mode and not being limited by a player camera, the guys were getting really creative. Only time would tell if they'd keep it up.
What are you up to? What is that noise? Do I hear a... car?
Man, what a reveal. The next 4 years of Rooster Teeth content, in my opinion, were the best that they ever produced. Season 8 of Red vs. Blue introduced fully animated scenes by the late and great Monty Ohm. It was also a climactic ending to the Recollection arc. 3 seasons that propelled Red vs. Blue from just being another machinima into an amazing treasure. And honestly, it's where I stop when I go back and watch the show now. Meanwhile, with the rest of Rooster Teeth, the company was growing fast and moved into a new facility and started hiring more people. This meant they had enough resources to go back and completely reshoot the Blood Gulch Chronicles in HD. This shot-for-shot remake was just what the series needed. It finally gave new viewers a great way of jumping in and not feeling intimidated by the old, shitty quality. The amount of time, effort, and care that was put into it is so clear that it makes the Blood Gulch Chronicles so much more magical. If you ever have time to go and listen to the Season 1 remastered commentary, there's a great part where they talk about how many grenades it took just to blast the Warthog onto Red Base. Or when they talk about their frustration with Ghost Church and the blinking blue light behind him. These stories are compassion and how much they cared about what they were doing. And it just brought me so much more respect for this company. They knew if they were going to remaster this show, they had to make it perfect. And they did. Also, the company produced its first original live-action show, Immersion. It asked the question, what if things that happen in video games actually happen in real life? All while using Jeff and Gus as human guinea pigs. On the Achievement Hunter side, Jeff and Jack were pushing out content constantly. The day a new game would come out, they'd get to work right away, normally producing 2 or 3 guides on that Tuesday. Frequently, Gus would even stop by and do his own guides too. It was clear that Achievement Hunter finally had its own identity, and it was awesome. It felt like Jeff and Jack just had this mentality of throwing stuff against the wall and seeing what stuck. My favorite example of this is Horse. In fact, I'll let Jeff even say it himself in the video.
Can I say,
Look at that spin.
like, the fact that this is a testament to how fucking awesome Halo is.
Yeah.
I had the seed of an idea this morning at like
Yeah.
9 a.m. And like an hour later, you and I were deep into filming it. And we spent
Yeah.
our entire day doing this
Yeah.
and laughing like idiots.
Well, we was shot there. Oh, hang it.
Oh, it's so close.
And that's what it was. I knew what I was watching was something that the people who made it were having fun doing. I loved watching Jeff and Jack just laugh and joke about the stupid stuff they would do in their office. You could really tell that they were enjoying every minute of it. It didn't feel forced, it was completely natural. And it was only getting better. On the community side of Achievement Hunter, fans started making their own achievement guides, and sometimes Rooster Teeth would upload them to their channel. This is where we would see Ray for the first time. For the most part, I would normally click away from these community videos because they weren't that great, but anytime Ray did a video, he was killing it, normally doing 8 or 9 achievement guides in the video. Ray was one of the guys that actually inspired me to start making my own YouTube videos. Even though I didn't have an Xbox and I technically couldn't do achievement guides, I wanted to do something, so I decided to do Let's Plays with my best friend. I still remember the day that I pirated my first copy of Sony Vegas. I was so excited because I didn't have to use Windows Movie Maker anymore. Everything felt streamlined and more efficient, and I didn't realize it, but I was getting excited about an editing program. In fact, I was getting more excited to edit than to actually shoot the videos. Oh, side note kids, don't pirate your editing software. I know I just said I did it. It's not a good thing to do, trust me. You can get in trouble, you can actually get sued. Don't do it, please. As months went on, I was getting pretty consistent with uploading videos, building a pretty big following of 100 subscribers. It was a big deal back then, trust me. I was starting to think that maybe this would be a pretty cool job to have. I wasn't the best student, but for some reason, editing and filmmaking in general was just clicking for me. I always loved making those red versus blue reenactments. Why not do it for a career? And plus, if I'm lucky enough, maybe one day I could work for Rooster Teeth. During that time, Michael was hired for his Rage Quit videos, so I knew that there was a super slim chance it could happen to me. And to motivate me to get through high school, I made it a stretch goal. This poorly shot, out of focus, overexposed thing is my first student film. Me recording this right now is the first time I've seen it in about 6 years. And honestly, I don't hate it. Me looking back at it right now with the career I have makes me more proud and excited. It kind of shows me how much I've grown and all the mistakes I don't make anymore. It's really humbling. Alright, wait, this is really fucking annoying me. There. And throughout the process of making this video, I wonder if Rooster Teeth ever does the same thing. At the same time that I was making this film, Rooster Teeth was starting what I call the golden era of its content. After an extremely successful season of Red vs. Blue, Rooster Teeth decided to change up the formula again. Now, instead of having animated scenes that blended from the machinima, they had fully animated scenes that took place in a completely different era while cutting back to present day with the machinima. Now let me stop though and say something. I honestly didn't like it. Not because it was different, but I've always been under the mindset that good things need to end before they're ruined. If you look at The Office, or The Simpsons, or Dragon Ball Z, those shows just kept on going. I mean, with The Simpsons, they're on like season 30 now. I always felt with the introduction of the Recollection arc, the story of Red vs. Blue just got really complicated and kinda dumb. I felt that that arc was a great way of just capping everything off and finishing the series. Now it's important for me to reiterate, I thoroughly enjoyed watching the Recollection arc. And also, although I felt the series should have been over, I enjoyed watching season 9 and 10 as well. There's still a lot of redeeming qualities of the seasons. Monty Wong's choreography is freaking amazing. and you could tell that he was putting his blood, sweat, and tears into it. It's just that the story side of the show felt kinda lacking. And cutting between fully CGI animations and Halo Reach was super jarring and killing the pacing. I started to tell myself that I should probably stop watching because I didn't want to ruin the great memories I had of the show. And after season 10, I did. And this was the beauty of Rooster Teeth. They had so much content that you could just pick and choose what you wanted to watch. And the best thing is, that's something that you can still do today. The Achievement Hunter guys are starting to do longer Let's Play videos. One of my favorite series at the time was the Minecraft series, because it was a completely new take on an already oversaturated genre on YouTube. I'll still go back today and watch some of those videos. I just love watching the guys just team up in the dumbest names. This is where you'd have X-Ray and Vav, and Team Nice Dynamite, and the Lads and Gents. You could really tell that they were having a blast every time they pushed that record button. Also around this time, the first season of RWBY came out. Admittedly, it was super rough around the edges, but it was a great start. And even though I'm not a huge anime fan, I was intrigued to watch it because I really liked watching Monty Olam's stuff. Overall, it was just a great time to watch Rooster Teeth. No matter where you look, great content was being produced, and it honestly felt like it'd be like that forever.
Welcome to The Know. I'm Meg Turney, and big news! Your humble fabulous Rooster Teeth is being acquired by media giant Fullscreen. Welcome to The Know. I'm Meg Turney, and it's with the heaviest of hearts that I must report to you that our friend and beloved colleague Monty Ohm has passed away. Welcome to The Know. I'm Meg Turney, and I'm gonna need you to go ahead and sit down, kids, because Mommy's got some news. Ray Narvaez Jr., the one and only brown man, is leaving Achievement Hunter.
Okay, look. I'm not gonna say that I stopped watching Achievement Hunter because Ray left. Or I stopped watching RWBY because Monty Ohm passed away. Or I stopped watching Rooster Teeth in general because they sold out. I will say this. I've been working on this video off and on for the past 3 years. The main reason why I made this channel is to literally make this video. Specifically, I've been working on this section of the video for about 1.5 years. Anytime I try to work on this portion, I don't know how to articulate what I'm trying to say. I've also noticed every time I record this, my opinion changes. I look back at the first 15 minutes of this video and I have a sense of guilt and grief. I mean, I literally say it in the first sentence of my introduction. There honestly hasn't been a company more influential in my life than Rooster Teeth. When I originally planned this video in late 2015, early 2016, I pretty much just planned on making a rant video that called Rooster Teeth a sellout company that didn't care about the fans, and frankly, a lot of bullshit. It felt immature, and I'm honestly embarrassed I ever planned on doing it. The thought never crossed my mind that maybe companies sign up with larger companies so they can improve their content. Or the whole idea of selling out in general is so arbitrary. Or the whole thought of being angry at a company that provided me with free entertainment for over 10 years is just fucking ridiculous. Has Rooster Teeth changed? Yes, of course it has. Has it run into a rough patch? Yes, unfortunately. Should I be like others on this platform who rant and complain and celebrate its rough times? No. In late 2019, Rooster Teeth had to lay off 13% of its employees. And while doing my research, I found this one clip of Jeff that honestly encapsulates what my current feeling is with Rooster Teeth.
But there's another portion, a much smaller portion, that y'all motherfuckers just want to watch Rome burn. And you've been decrying the end of Rooster Teeth since 2004. You know, people started saying that our days were numbered when we created the Strangerhood and it wasn't a hit. Our sophomore release was a failure. When we created RT Comics, somehow that meant the end of the company. When we did away with mod points and the emotomy, that was it. People were leaving in droves. Rooster Teeth was over. And if you don't know what those things are, you haven't been around as long as you think you have. We have dealt with these crises since almost day one. And for those people, the people that just want to see us fail, there's nothing I can say that's going to make sense to you or that will be enough. You will pick apart my words, my intentions, my syntax, my inflection, and there's not a lot I can do about that. And so I can't assuage you. There's nothing I can do about it. So some crafted response doesn't work either. And then for all of you armchair CEOs out there who know exactly what business decisions we should and shouldn't make and would have done things differently, I get it. It's fine. I harbor no ill will towards you. And I say with sincerity and without malice or sarcasm, I hope you move forward in your lives and you find something you're as passionate about as I am about Rooster Teeth. And I hope you create your own Rooster Teeth in whatever medium it is, whatever industry. And I hope you find success. And I hope you take those instincts and you make that thing successful and you make the right decisions. And when you're faced with adversity and when you're faced with difficult moments, I hope you make the right decisions. You have my support. You really do.
That passion is the same passion that's always been there with Rooster Teeth. I didn't see it a couple years ago when I stopped watching, but it's still there. Maybe I'll never watch their content again, but I'll never have ill will towards what they try to do and what they have accomplished. They simply just wanted to entertain people. When it really comes down to it, I changed. I put Rooster Teeth on some pedestal that was honestly unrealistic and not fair to them. I started to get tired of the current lineup of shows that they were producing, but also would get annoyed anytime they tried something new. I was a walking contradiction. I would make stupid comments like, "Aw man, remember the good old days?" I'd also complain about the new cast members and not give them a chance. This video really taught me a lot about myself. I learned that as a creator and a consumer of content, not everyone's gonna like what you make. But if you support what someone's done in the past, there's no reason why you can't support them in the future. To simply start hating someone or something because they don't make the content that you like anymore is destructive. Just move on. Look for new content. Life is too short to harbor ill will about something like this. And then maybe one day, take that content that you enjoyed from that creator and grow from it. Use it as inspiration. Create your own art. Build a career out of it. And then after a couple of years, when you look back, appreciate what they gave you. Well, that took forever to make. Currently I'm unemployed, so maybe there will be more videos, maybe not. Yeah. No promises. I hope everyone is staying healthy and safe and protecting themselves and staying at home with the word I can't say, or this video will be restricted. Just dated the video, by the way. Yeah, this was a big project, and having 2 months off really helped. I think my cat's walking into my office now. But yeah, having 3 months off from work, what else am I gonna do? So subscribe if you want. Follow me on Twitter. I don't post anything on there. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this not passion project, but I don't know, this was interesting. Yeah, see you guys.